that I get to be that person to someone else. I get to do what I love and also get to inspire, so I try to take that opportunity, but that only comes because of the woman before me.
My biggest female role model in my life has been my mom.
First off, it's my mom.
Definitely my mom.
Of course, my mom. My mom. She's been literally my rock since I've started gymnastics.
She's always been my biggest supporter.
That woman is strong. She can balance the world.
She has inspired me since I was little to just do what I love.
Just seeing them as strong and independent women has inspired me to be one myself.
Growing up, there were so many gymnasts that I looked up to as a role model.
Gabby Douglas, seeing someone that looked like me definitely encouraged me to be like, oh, I want to do that too.
Simone Biles, honestly, she's a powerhouse and I love watching her.
Just seeing them compete in the Olympics, I've always just wanted to be like them.
I always looked up to college girls when I was little. I loved watching college gymnastics.
I would definitely say Makari. She's my best friend, a role model to everybody.
Trinity Thomas was a huge role model for me. I loved her leadership. I loved her gymnastics.
Everyone on my team, too, they push me to get better every day and they challenge me.
I'm here to be an inspiration to my teammates, be an inspiration to the little girls that I used to be.
This weekend, we're celebrating Girls and Women's in Sports Day. Bart Connor along with Trinity Thomas. When you look at that feature, by the way, which also features you, who do you think were the biggest influencers in your career?
I mean, my mom has been the biggest influence in my career. She is my rock. She is my everything. She was my confidence when I didn't have any. She loved me no matter how good I did out on the floor.
What do you say to a young lady who sees you as a role model now?
Yes, I was once you, and just keep trying, just keep working hard, be patient with yourself, and have faith you can do it.
Glad to be working with you today. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the scores. The Sooners, by 0.4 of a point, have the lead. They are the #1 team in the country. We're at the halfway point in this competition. They will go to the balance beam, and you're not going to want to miss Faith Torres for the Sooners. Kentucky in the third rotation will be on the floor exercise. They're powerful tumblers, and you're going to want to see Haley Davis when we return. Trinity Thomas back here at the Lloyd Noble Center, set for the fourth and final rotations. The #1 team in the country, the Sooners, have a lead of 0.4 of a point over Kentucky, who goes to the beam. Oklahoma will be on the floor. We mentioned there are several athletes competing in the all-around tonight, 2 for Kentucky and 4 for the Sooners. Currently, Jordan Bowers is the all-around leader with a 29.7. In this fourth and final rotation, Kentucky starts on the beam with Delaney Rodriguez. Now, Trinity, they trail Oklahoma by 0.4 of a point. Can they make it up on beam?
Absolutely. I mean, we always say a meet is not over until the very last routine. And so they can be great on beam. But it won't be easy. Back handspring, back layout, step out. Beautiful.
You don't see a lot of triple series on beam, do you, in college gymnastics?
No, they're very difficult, and most gymnasts don't take the risk. Full turn.
Rodriguez, the sophomore from Las Vegas, is unfazed by his leadoff spots. Loves it, in fact.
Well, she looks calm up there, and she looks so confident. She's even smiling a little bit.
Season high 9.9 on this event so far. Wow.
1.5, just a slight hop backwards.
What do you think of this triple series? You mentioned it's riskier than a typical double series.
Yeah, so she does a handspring layout. Anytime you add another skill, there's more room for error. And she does it incredibly there.
Good start for the Wildcats on beam. Audrey Davis now will lead off the Sooners on floor as she did on beam. That last rotation, she led them off with a 9.9. She's certainly capable of that and more here on floor. Fabulous event for the Sooners.
Front handspring, front double full. Nice control into choreography. beautiful leaps. Round off 1.5, front full. Again, the control on the landings. Audrey's having fun out there.
KJ Kindler picked some really interesting music this year. I asked you earlier about music choices. You said it wasn't necessarily your forte.
No, it was either my roommate or one of my teammates or the coaches picked my music. I just knew what I didn't want.
Oh, yeah.
Super.
Graduate student Audrey Davis.
What a great leadoff routine for the Sooners.
Talk about consistency. Coming into this meet, she has hit 229 of 230 routines in her whole career. Only one missed routine in 5 years for the Sooners, and that was early in her freshman year on the beam. What a rock she has been.
It doesn't get much better than that.
Presley Bros coming after Delaney Rodriguez had a 9.85.
Now, balance beam is consisted of dance and acro skills. So you see they're dancing here, and she's gonna do a front tuck. That's an acro skill, and that was a beautiful front tuck. And then it also has connections as well. Nice front toss to back handspring step out. I'm still on that front tuck. That was huge. Switch leap, feet jump.
You mentioned some of the requirements. If you do the base requirements as well as the special requirements on every event, you start at a 9.4. To get all the way to a 10 in terms of start value, you have to do extra degree of difficulty and combinations.
Yes, and one of those combinations was her series. She did that front toss to back handspring step out. And then that full turn was a dance element. Just the dismount here. Round off 1.5, step on the landing. Would have liked to see a little more amplitude on that 1.5.
Remember, they're trailing the Sooners, so they're going to need every stuck landing, and honestly, they're going to need the Sooners to stumble a little bit on floor if they're going to come back in this last rotation. However, there's more than just a team battle at stake here, because they're also trying to get a high away score, and that's how they build their scores to the postseason. We'll talk about that a little bit more when we come back to Kentucky. Here is Addison Feda after Audrey Davis led them off with a strong 9.875.
I may be biased, but I love this routine for Addison. Front handspring, front double full.
Whoa!
A little too much sauce there.
What is it you like about this routine, Trinity?
All the intrinsic movements. KJ is so good at doing very different routines, and it's an acquired taste. I personally like this one. But Addison performs it very well. See her take a deep breath there. Easy on this, 2.5. All right.
Now, you guys grew up training together. Did you anticipate that she'd be contributing like this to the #1 team in the country?
Oh my goodness, yes. Addison has been great since she was little, and she just got better and better each year. And I call her a cat because she always knows where she is and she lands on her feet. Switch leap and then switch side, straddle full.
A lot of confidence in her choreography for a freshman.
Yes. Great routine for Addison.
Nice. From Wrightsville, Pennsylvania, Addison Feda.
A little bit too much juice on that, but she covered it up well, and here we're going to see a front through to 2.5. Same thing, but again, she's solid.
Tom Haley Lee giving her a couple of notes. Back to the beam now for Kentucky. Sharon Lee out of Texas. Sophomore. I mentioned earlier about scores. The way these teams qualify to their postseason is not by a win-loss record, but in fact by a thing called an NQS, the National Qualifying Score. So even if Kentucky takes a loss here today, they can still come out with a win of sorts in that they have had a high away score, which will contribute to their postseason opportunities.
Yes, absolutely. And Sharon Lee just did a nice triple series. A little off on that full turn, pulled it back. That's a simple skill, but it can be very difficult sometimes.
It is one of those special requirements on the event. You have to do a simple full turn. And how many times do we see gymnasts wobble on that skill? Probably one of the easiest skills in the routine.
Yes, often. I've definitely wobbled on my fair share. I even forgot it once.
You just forgot it?
Yes, Jenny was not happy. Round off 1.5, just a little low on that landing.
I want to hear more about that. So you finished the beam routine, and your coach goes, Dave, what about the full turn?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And it happened to me in college. So when these little girls forget their routines at these meets that I do, and they're bawling or so upset, I'm like, it's okay. It happens to everybody, specifically me. Maybe not as much to, like, but it happens to everybody.
Sharon Lee happy with that effort. We go back to Oklahoma's on the floor. Addison Fade had a 9-9. You're going to love this routine. Elle Miller. Talk about interesting, dramatic choreography.
Which I love. And it's choreography from head to toe, all the way through your fingertips. Using your face, using your eyes, it's everything. Front through to double tuck, she is out of bounds on that.
Coach Kindler said, watch how many times she winks at her teammates during the floor routine.
Front layout, front 1.5, that was just stunning. The height on that 1.5.
AJ told us the other day this music is Suicide Squad. She said she had it in her playlist for years, but she couldn't find the right gymnast to do it. And when Elle Miller came along, she said she's the one.
Yep, I don't think she could have found a better one. No, but she does it very well. Here's a look at this first pass. Front through to double tuck. You see she's close to the corner already. When she goes to lunge, all the way out.
Chesney Bennett, the freshman out of South Carolina. Talk about a fit family. Both of her parents are competitive bodybuilders. Wow.
Nice full turn. I actually had the privilege of working with Chesney at a camp a few years ago, and she was the cutest little thing. So sweet. Handspring, lay.
Nice.
Beautifully done. And she was talented then, and she's talented now.
Is really second only to Isabella McNally in terms of beam expertise on this team.
She did break that connection there, but she went back and did it again, so she will get credit. Last week was actually her debut on beam, so this is only her second competitive beam routine in college. Nice stuck gainer back pike dismount. Here we go with this series again. This is a back handspring layout, even more difficult than the back handspring layouts that we've seen from our teammates previously.
That's a kind of combination that earns those valuable extra difficulty points to get the gymnast to that 10-0 start value. Nicely done for the young lady in her first performance on beam. Lily Peterson for the Sooners after L. Miller had a 9.8. That score is grayed out. That's the score the Sooners would hope to replace.
Can hear everyone clapping in here. Oh, she stayed in. She was close to that line, but she was not over it. This is a fun routine for everyone in here. Made eye contact with the camera that time. Front handspring, front double full. What a fun routine.
Now, some gymnasts elect to do 2 tumbling passes and some do 3. Explain the strategy there and what do you prefer?
Yes, so some gymnasts do 2 and some do 3. When you do 2, you do need extra bonus, so you might find that in your turns or in your leaps. When you're doing 3, you don't need as much in your turns or your leaps. It's personal preference.
What did you like?
I did a little bit of both. I did 3 passes and I did 2 passes. I personally like the dance part of having 2 passes, so if you have 2-pass routine, it's important to get that dance. But if you have big tumbling, we love that 3rd pass.
Skylar Kilo Wilhelm now coming after Chesney Bennett had a 9.75. That is grayed out there. That's the score they hope to replace. Once again, Kentucky hoping to mark a high away score, which will help them in their postseason qualifying.
Front aerial, back handspring, layout step out, no wobble. Ooh, turn. Switch leap, feet jump. Every move is so calculated. She looks so confident up there.
What do you like about her style?
I honestly think it's very similar to mine.
Mm-hmm.
She's fun to watch. Side aerial 1.5. I actually also competed that dismount as well. Small step on the landing. That's a tough dismount. Going from a side aerial to a 1.5, you see a lot of round off 1.5s, and it gives you a lot of power. From a side aerial, you really got to get that back leg in and that chest up to rotate with that 1.5.
Congratulations there from Chad Weeks, their assistant coach at Kentucky, also doing an outstanding job. Okay, look out, folks. Here's Jordan Bowers.
Jordan Bowers is just one of my all-time favorites, and actually one of my friends, too. I love this routine. Talk about perform. She can do it.
Some of you watching might know that my wife is Nadia Comaneci, who was a pretty good gymnast in her own right. She said last week when she watched this routine, she goes, that is a 10.
Jordan is a 10. Wow. Front double full, front tuck. I don't think I've seen it done better than that. She's so intense.
Big back tumbling pass.
She can fly high. Oh, just a little short. I think she was trying a little too hard to land it. Just anticipated that landing too quickly. This is such a cool routine.
What do you like about it?
I like the intensity. I like that it's eerie. I like that she gives everything that she has to every position, every movement.
Averaging 9.9 today through her 3 events. Jordan Bowers.
Let's look at this first pass here. Front handspring, front double full, punch front. She could have stuck that clean if she wanted to. Double pike just came up a little short. I think she was trying too hard. It happens. She's a veteran.
Score for her of a 9.525 or more will secure the win for the Oklahoma Sooners. That will be no problem. So here is Kentucky's beam queen, Isabella McNally. She's the anchor competitor. You see the 9.75 is the grade out score. They hope to replace her score with something that McNally can get, and McNally is certainly capable.
She has a great handspring lay. It looks like that every time she does it. Switch leap, straddle jump. You see how those splits are 180? That's exactly what the judges are looking for. Front aerial, very nice. Love to see her smile up there. Full turn, nicely done. Just the dismount, gainer pike, stuck. Very nice routine to end the night. Nice, 180 on that straddle jump there.
Beautiful execution in toe point and extension.
That was an exclamation point on her night.
He will always give a big impact on her beam performance as she delivered tonight in that anchor spot. Jordan Bowers for the Sooners had a 9.9 before. Faith Torres now coming up as their competitor.
And we were
anchor competitor, 9.95 would win the all-around for her tonight.
And we were just talking about flying high, and Faith can do exactly that. Let's take a look at this huge double layout.
This young lady has some pop in those legs. Wow.
Very nice. That's my favorite skill, so I love to see a good double layout.
I remember yours was so high, I think your whole Florida team could walk under you while you were doing it.
Well, there's a funny story to how I learned that. But we don't have time to talk about it on air.
You can tell us later.
Torjete will full.
Well, her leaps are sky high.
Front through. Double tuck. Nice height. Oh. Wow, just about stuck.
Sooners have 3 9.9s on floor so far. When you think about it, women's gymnastics, 3 of the 4 events are really leg events: vault, beam, and floor. So if you have that kind of springs, you can score well on 3 of the 4 events. Look at that height.
Absolutely impeccable. Double tuck, nearly stuck.
Boy, she
the
was
team
ripping
loves
her
that.
toes into the
Oh,
mat.
yes.
So
Great
the Sooners will get another easy victory, the #1 team in the country at home. They will not break that 198 mark, however, which was the 9.9 average, but they will be winners of this competition. And it looks like Kentucky, with a 197.225, will get a strong away score, which is goal number 2 here. Oklahoma 197.825 because it's a 9.95 for Faith Torres in that anchor spot. She also wins today's all-around competition. Great night here in Norman, Oklahoma. We'll come back to wrap this one up in a minute. In Norman, Oklahoma, the Sooners with a 197.825 get the victory and will hold on to that #1 ranking. They beat Kentucky tonight, the #8 team in the country. Last week, the Sooners were lights out on bars, and tonight it was vault.
Lily started them off. Nice 1.5 step forward there. Faith stuck 1.5. Huge. Oh, I thought that score should have been higher. And then Jordan, another stuck 1.5. Absolutely incredible. Those were 3 great vaults.
Faith Torres had a 39.625. That wins the all-around. It's a career high for her. Oklahoma gets the win over Kentucky. Kentucky accomplishes a season-high road score, which will factor in their qualifying for the postseason. And Oklahoma gets their 899th program win. KJ Kindler has 518 of these victories. Wow, what a night. Trinity, what did you think of your first experience broadcasting?
I thought it was a lot of fun. After the first part, I got settled in. It took me a little bit, but it was great.
What did you think of the Sooners' victory tonight?
Oh, they did a great job. They always do a great job.
All right, well, I'm sorry that your Florida Gators lost tonight to Arkansas, but that's how it is in the SEC.
Yes, it is. This
is a tough conference, and so the best in the country are seen every week on the SEC network. So our final score is the Oklahoma Sooners 197.825, Kentucky 197.225. Catch another Friday Night Heights doubleheader on Valentine's Day starting at 7 Eastern. For Trinity Thomas and our entire crew, I'm Bart Connor. So long from Norman.